Welcome back to Ghost Powered Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today we do another deep dive into Amazon Prime. So for those of you not familiar with this channel, once a week I go searching through the popular streaming platforms and come up with 10 horror movies to recommend to you guys. This week, I went searching through Amazon Prime and came up with 10 more horror movies that I think you will enjoy. And with that, let's get to the list!
Franklin, pick up the phone.
He's just a sweet little
Pick up the phone.
just a sweet little boy. That's what boys do.
So we need to talk about Kevin is a 2011 psychological horror drama that's directed by Lynn Ramsey and based on a 2003 novel with the same name. It stars Tilda Swinton as a mother struggling to come to terms with her psychopathic son and the horrors he has committed.
Did you say mommy?
No.
Shouldn't he be talking by now?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Ball?
No.
He's just a boy. Just a sweet little boy.
And a young Ezra Miller plays her son Kevin, and he does a fantastic job as a hollow, empty teen. He's just so convincing as a psychopath in this. It's a terrifying concept that we deal with way too often, with young people seemingly every day committing acts of mass violence. This is a troubling yet compelling story that'll really stick with you. I found myself just struggling to come up with my own conclusions long after. This is a well-produced movie in every way and definitely worth adding to your list. Cummings, who struggles to not give in to the paranoia that grips his small town as the body.
You are very low.
So as well as starring in this, it is also written and directed by Jim Cummings. It also stars Ricky Lindholm and Robert Forster. This film is dedicated to Robert Forster, as sadly this was his last performance before he passed away shortly after shooting. This is a wild movie with many layers, as well as a very eccentric sense of humor, so it might not be for everyone, but it'll really keep you guessing the whole time, as it's almost more of a whodunit mystery. I found the ending to be satisfying with a really nice payoff. It has humor, it has gore, as well as a great little story. This is an absolute can't miss. So The Innkeepers is a 2011 supernatural horror movie written, directed, and edited by Ty West. It stars Sarah Paxton, Pat Healy, and Kelly McGillis. The story follows two employees of the Yankee Peddler Inn during its final weekend of operation, who attempt to document alleged supernatural activity in the building and awaken a terrifying presence.
This is our last weekend open, so we've got to find some proof that My Little Mally really exists before this place closes down.
This is a small movie, but with the creative vision of Ty West, it's way better than I expected. It has a very eerie atmosphere as well as unexpected twist. So with the recent release of Ty West's latest movie X, I wanted to mention some of his other movies that some of you might have missed. And The Innkeepers is another one that's fantastic and an absolute must watch. So A Quiet Place Part 2 is a 2020 post-apocalyptic horror movie. It's a direct sequel to 2018's A Quiet Place, following the family from the first film as they continue to navigate and survive in this post-apocalyptic world taken over by blind aliens with acute hearing.
How happened?
A bomb, I think.
And just like the first film, this movie was also written, directed, and produced by John Krasinski. It stars Emily Blunt, Millicent Simmons, and Cillian Murphy. This is a fantastic sequel, about as good as you can do. I've even heard some people that think this movie was better than the original. Now, I won't go that far, but I do think this is a great movie. It's just that the original was a modern-day horror masterwork. It was like catching lightning in a bottle. And once again, the entire cast is brilliant in this, but especially Millicent Simmons. She just brings so much intensity and emotion to the screen. This one didn't quite get me on the edge of my seat as much as the original, but it still has plenty of terrifying moments. So I think if you have yet to check this out, you most definitely should.
This is life and death. on another level. What if I'm getting it all wrong? All the good girls go to hell.
So Saint Maud is a 2019 British psychological horror movie by A24. It was written and directed by Rose Glass in her directorial debut. The story follows a hospice nurse named Maud, who's a recent convert to Catholicism and charged with caring for Amanda, a retired dancer who's riddled with cancer. So Maud is obsessed with saving her soul from eternal damnation at whatever the cost.
When you pray, do you get a response?
Oh, it's like he's physically in me. It's how he guides me.
My little savior.
This movie is dark and gets disturbing and very uncomfortable, with plenty of visuals that'll just stick with you. So in no way is this a fun movie. It's a slow burn art house type that's just so well made. From the lighting that creates a bleak atmosphere to the sound that is just absolutely haunting. This is a well-crafted piece of cinema. But it isn't gonna be for everyone. But if this sounds like your brand, then by all means, check it out.
Let me help you.
You can't help me.
Surprise.
So The Invisible Man is a 2020 sci-fi horror movie written and directed by Leigh Whannell. It stars Elizabeth Moss as a woman who believes she is being stalked by her supposedly dead abusive ex-boyfriend, who may have acquired the ability to become invisible.
He said that wherever I went, he would find me, walk right up to me, and I wouldn't be able to see him.
Adrian is dead.
He's not dead. He has figured out a way to be invisible.
But when the police refuse to believe her, she decides to take matters into her own hands and fight back. So I've become a big fan of Leigh Whannell, especially after seeing his 2018 movie Upgrade. And after seeing this, I just can't wait to see what he does next. He just did such a great job of taking elements from the 1933 Invisible Man and marrying it to this future tech. Just the way he brought those two together, I thought was masterfully done in this. So I think this is a very well done movie that may not be for everyone, but if you have yet to check it out, I think you definitely should give it a look.
Would you like to play a game?
Wait!
I don't want to be sick.
So My Heart Can't Beat Unless You Tell It To is a 2020 psychological horror drama. It's written and directed by Jonathan Cortez and stars Owen Campbell, Patrick Fugit, and Ingrid Schramm. It's about a woman named Jessie and her brother Dwight, who care for their little brother Thomas. Thomas suffers from a mysterious illness that makes him unable to leave the house and forces him to ingest blood to survive. So Dwight and Jessie kill the dredges of society to get him the blood that he desperately needs.
I don't think that I can keep doing this.
He's our brother.
He's sick. We shouldn't be doing the things that we're doing.
But this slowly eats away at their psyche and causes a rift. This is a disturbing movie, full of loneliness and discomfort. It's not fun, but it is so well performed by everyone involved in this. Especially Owen Campbell, he is just brilliant in this. I really hope to see him get some bigger roles in the future because he is so talented. This movie is so intense, it gets more and more dramatic and upsetting as it goes. So this is an experience not for the faint of heart, but for people who really appreciate and love the art of film. This just has great writing, directing, acting. This is a worthwhile experience that I absolutely recommend. Hey!
This is for your own good.
So Spell is a 2020 supernatural horror thriller. It's directed by Mark Tendori and starring Omari Hardwick and Loretta Devine. So while flying to his father's funeral in rural Appalachia, an intense storm causes Marcus to lose control of the plane carrying him and his family.
We're going up for my daddy's funeral.
They don't get many visitors up in those hollers.
I'm taking it down! He soon awakens wounded, alone, and trapped in an attic by a woman named Miss Eloise. Unable to call for help, Marcus desperately fights to get free from her dark magic and save his family. This is a very underrated little movie. I'm just a big fan of hoodoo voodoo southern folk magic. When it's done right, it can be just so unsettling. And Loretta Devine is fantastic in this movie.
I need an ambulance.
Ain't no hospital within 50 miles of here. Where you think you is? New York City.
She has some definite Annie Wilkes vibes going on in this. There are definitely some very uncomfortable body horror moments that'll just get under your skin, as well as just solid special effects in general. So this is a small movie, but a very entertaining movie and one definitely worth your time. So Them is a 2006 French language horror movie. It's directed by David Moreau and Xavier Pallud, and supposedly it's loosely based off of true events. So it's about a teacher who shares a remote mansion with her author partner in Romania. And their peaceful weekend is smashed when they're awoken by terrifying noises, and soon attacked by hooded stalkers who seem to have no other motive than to kill them. This movie is so suspenseful and unnerving. Just an absolute thrill ride. Seriously, one of the most tense movies you will see. If you're a fan of home invasion movies, this is one of the best ever done in that subgenre. So definitely check it out.
Nobody has control over life and death unless they are taking lives and causing death.
So Final Destination is a 2000 supernatural horror movie directed by James Wan, and it stars Devon Sawa, Ali Larter, and Tony Todd. So Devon Sawa plays a teenager who cheats death when he has a premonition of his plane exploding.
The plane's gonna explode! It's not a joke! It's not a joke!
We get thrown off the plane all because Brownie has a bad dream?
I saw it.
The plane! It's gonna blow up! It's gonna blow up!
So him and several of his classmates leave the plane before the explosion. But death will not be cheated, and one by one these fugitives of fate will fall to the Reaper. This is just such a fun movie. This really is one of the best horror movies from that era. I mean, it went on to spawn multiple sequels, and some of them weren't that great, I know, but still. It also propelled James Wan's career and helped him to become the horror icon that he is today. I've always thought the premise of this is so interesting as well. Just taking death and turning it into this stalker slasher type of evil villain as well. So if it's been a while since you've checked this out, you might be surprised on how well this held up. So I definitely recommend you give it a look. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for me today. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know if there's anything else on Prime that I should be checking out. Also, if you could do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and ding that little bell, because that is the best way to keep track of this channel. And when I post videos like this, and I post videos like this every single week, I also want to give a huge, massive, enormous thank you to my patrons, because you guys, yeah, your support seriously means so much to me. And if you would like to find out more about becoming a patron, the link is down in the description. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button. And remember guys, horror can be fun. I will see you guys next time.